In 280 BC, King Pyrrhus of Epirus defeated the Roman legions at the Battle of Heraclea. This victory saw both armies badly bloodied and many of Pyrrhus's elite soldiers perished to seize the day. However, the hesitant Italian and Greek allies, now confident in an Pyrrhic victory, finally joined Pyrrhus. And the next destination was Rome. Right after the battle, Pyrrhus's plan was to craft a truce or peace treaty with Rome. He had been impressed with Roman discipline in battle and orderly fashion on the field, and as the Greek army marched north, delegations were exchanged. The Romans sent a delegation led by Gaius Fabricius Lucianus to Pyrrhus. It is said that Pyrrhus's own physician offered to assassinate his own king, but Fabricius declined and reported this to Pyrrhus. The Epirote king was so impressed with Roman honor that he offered Fabricius to join his companions, to which Fabricius replied that if he held such a place, the Greeks might then want him to be king instead. Pyrrhus tried to scare the Romans with an elephant, which also didn't work, and he wasn't able to forge a peace deal at all. However, in a gesture of goodwill, the Epirote king released all the Roman prisoners. Cineas was sent to Rome with the prisoners to achieve a truce, but all he did was witness the massive recruitment effort put on by Rome as they bolstered their forces with thousands of new recruits and veterans alike. Adding to this, another force under consul Laevinus marched south from Etruria. Pyrrhus went as far as to be just about 20 kilometers off Rome, but fearing to be cut off, he withdrew back to Tarentum where he wintered. It was clear to the Greeks that the Romans were too belligerent and weren't going to take a peace deal. It might even be that the march on Rome was a bluff, as Rome still had a legion on the field and many thousands of men who fled Heraclea were manning the walls. It is unclear as to the order of these delegations. Either way, whatever plans Pyrrhus had to pacify Rome did not work, as in 279 he left Tarentum to campaign in the Apulian region. Pyrrhus now had close to 40,000 men in his army, 8,000 of them were cavalry and 19 fearsome war elephants. The Romans marched to Apulia with similar numbers and encamped near the town of Asculum by a river. The consul in charge, Publius Decius Mus, was confident in victory. To counter the elephants, the Romans built 300 special wagons manned by skirmishers that would, in theory, fend off the elephants. And on that faithful day of 279 BC, Pyrrhus arrived at the river and saw the Roman camp. However, the rugged terrain near the river wasn't appropriate for the phalangists, and he withdrew to the plains. The Romans followed and forded the river, and after the ridgeline, they found the Greek army ready to meet them. And it is now that the battle begins. The Roman legionaries closed in and charged at the phalangists. Despite the fierce fighting, the phalanx held their ground, long pikes against short Roman swords. As bloody as the contest was, none could claim victory. On the flanks the cavalries met, the Epirotes continuously wheeled and charged again, while the Romans reined their horses and fought like infantry on foot. After a while, the Italian allies of Pyrrhus in the center started giving ground, and sensing the danger that they might break, Pyrrhus ordered his elephants to charge on the flank. The Romans slowed the elephants with their wagons, but the wagon crews and oxen were killed by the Epirote light infantry mixed in with the mighty beasts. However, as both elephants and cavalry struggled in the flanks, the center of the Pyrrhic army gave way, and Pyrrhus himself, alongside his cavalry reserve, charged at the gap, achieving early success and felling many of the Roman front ranks. But bad news came from the rear. 4,000 Roman allies managed to find and burn the Pyrrhic camp. This demoralized the phalangists, who began to lose cohesion. Luckily for Pyrrhus, both cavalry and elephants were just about done in the flanks and wheeled around to strike at the Roman flanks. This decisive attack inflicted heavy losses on the Roman side, and they were forced to orderly retreat. Pyrrhus won another victory at the cost of 3,500 men, while the Romans lost 6,000. Pyrrhus lost a few hundred more men in the following days due to lack of shelter and provision, and he famously declared, "One more such victory, and we are undone," which led to the coining of the term Pyrrhic Victory. It was now clear for Pyrrhus that victory against the Romans was very unlikely. It didn't matter how many defeats or casualties they had, the Romans could quickly replenish their forces, as if from a fountain gushing forth indoors, and did not lose courage or determination in defeat. Adding to this, the allies of Pyrrhus were losing heart and confidence in their own victory, and Pyrrhus could not call up more men from home. As he withdrew back to Tarentum, he got news from both Greece and Sicily. On the one hand, Ptolemy Caranus, king of Macedon, had died at the hands of a migrating tribe of Gauls, and Antigonus, a rival of Pyrrhus, had taken control of Macedon. On the other hand, the Greeks of Sicily had called Pyrrhus to aid them against the encroaching rule of the Carthaginians. Whichever course of action Pyrrhus took would horrify southern Italy, as they'd be left to their own fate against the Romans. Pyrrhus still had men in Epirus and must have been confident that Antigonus wouldn't invade. This led to the Sicilian campaign. Pyrrhus chose to stay and sail to Syracuse, where he'd be welcomed as a liberator. It is at this point that an unlikely alliance emerged from this conflict. Polybius discovered documents of a series of treaties between Rome and Carthage in a library in Rome. One of them was against Pyrrhus. It stipulated that if they make an alliance with Pyrrhus, both shall make it an express condition that they may go to the help of each other in whichever country is attacked. No matter which requires help, the Carthaginians are to provide the ships for transport and hostilities, but each country shall provide the pay for its own men. The Carthaginians, if necessary, shall come to the help of the Romans by sea too, but no one shall compel the crews to land against their will. And thus ends the second episode of my videos on the Pyrrhic Wars. If you enjoyed this one, have a watch of any of the videos on your screen right now. I've been Wolf, stay wonderful.